The hair incident. I was just reminded of a "customer is always right" incident and thought I'd share. Background. I used to work in a diner that's some upscale pretensions. Located in a very rich part of the city, we were a cheap option without being a greasy spoon. Because of our location, we got a lot of very entitled rich dickheads come in who thought they owned the place and would lose their shit at the slightest issue. The story. Two women come in for lunch, and I seat them on a two-top in my section. One has brown hair in a bun, ponytail, and the other has long blonde hair, like down to her butt long. This will be relevant. I take their order. Brown hair orders a salad and blonde hair just gets water. Okay, no problem. While the kitchen is working on the order, I am walking around the restaurant and I notice the blonde is straight up brushing her hair at the table, like with a nice hairbrush. Weird, but I can't really say anything. The food is ready, so I bring the salad out. Brown hair isn't ready to eat, so I see her and blonde hair just talking. Blonde hair is still brushing her hair. Not like a quick, let me just get this tangle, but like a full-on separating out areas. Brushing them. Flicking her hair over to the other side. Brushing a new area. The works. I've done a few walk-bys their table at this point to give them a chance to order anything else, but they haven't asked for anything. About 2 seconds later, I see brown hair waving frantically at me from across the restaurant. So I head over and ask what I can do for them. Brown hair. There is a hair in my salad. She looks so disgusted. I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Where? And she pulls out a long blonde hair. Brown hair. This is disgusting. This is so unhygienic. There's no way I can eat this. Doesn't this place have a good hygiene rating? How could this happen? Don't you make your kitchen staff wear hairnets? Quote. I am legit just staring at her, completely baffled by how anyone could be so oblivious. Her friend's hairbrush is still on the table. Me. I don't think that's a hair from the kitchen. But let me take that for you and get my manager. Brown hair. Of course it's from the kitchen. Where else could it be from? Quote. I gesture over to the open kitchen, where she can clearly see that all the staff are wearing baseball caps. Even with the baseball caps, you can see that none of the staff have hair long enough to be responsible for the ducking 3-foot-long monstrosity that's somehow ended up in her salad. Me. Well, nobody in our kitchen has hair like that, but let me take this and get the manager. I get my manager and let him know what's up. Unfortunately, the motto of our restaurant was, no matter how clearly the customer is blatantly wrong, we will bend over backwards for them. My manager did gently bring up that it was probably her friend's hair, but he'd still ask the kitchen to remake her salad free of charge. Both of them got huffy and start arguing along the lines of, don't blame this on us when it's your dirty restaurant. Quote. Brown hair still ate the new salad. Despite the dirty restaurant it was prepared in, her friend stopped brushing her hair, though. Regular customer gets his own menu. I apologize for any errors, I'm typing this on my phone. Okay, so a few months ago this guy, we will call him Richard, starts to come in. He would come in a couple times a week. No big deal, we have other regulars that do the same thing. He then starts coming every day. And every day turned into twice a day. This is fine. He tips well and he's a great guy to talk to. Plus it's business. As time goes on he starts to be picky. I want this but sub that for this type of thing. No problem, I can make that happen. I went on a weekend getaway with two of my really good friends who also happen to be my coworkers. And we come back to a printed out laminated menu just for Richard. The reason? His cholesterol is high and he's gaining weight. That'll happen when you only eat diner food. He literally negotiated prices with my boss. Got pissy at her if it wasn't the right price. I just don't understand why he thought he had the audacity to snap at her to change prices when she was literally sitting down and creating a menu just so he can watch his health. It's not her responsibility to watch what he eats. If he wants something not on his menu, he usually tries to negotiate prices with me. Like, sit, you cannot change the price of something that is literally on the menu just because you think you're special. I don't know where he gets his entitlement from. Revenge is wonderful. I have not been a server in a long time, but I was a server for a long time. Back when I first got into the industry, I worked for a well-known chain that rhymes with Friendigans. It was a weekday night and I was closing after working a double. My jerk of a manager let two guys who were obviously around my age at the time, 19. I'm a female, in 5 minutes before closing. So now I'm pissed and the kitchen staff is furious and riding my ass to get the order in as fast as possible. So first these two losers order waters. Great, I know I'm getting a shit tip. I try as sweetly as I can to ask for their food order since the kitchen is closing soon. They ask me to sit down with them for recommendations. At this point my resting bitch face is on. I'm not sitting down with anyone and the menu is the same menu every other national chain has. I'm not here to entertain you. So they order wings. Awesome. I can foresee the mountains of dirty paper napkins and the bone graveyard I will be cleaning up, but I smile and place the order and let them know it will be out shortly. This is when these two dorks decided to try to test me and order 2 piña coladas. First of all, only an asshole orders a blender drink when it's obvious the restaurant is closing, and second of all, like, make it more obvious you're underage. So I ask for IDs and they make a big production out of it, which is a huge red flag. I look at them. They're obviously fake. I deny them the drinks. They call me a bitch and demand to see the manager. I tell the manager they have fake IDs and called me a bitch and I am not going back to the table. He can deal with them. He denies them as well and threatens to take their IDs, which is should have. And I drop the wings while he's with them and finish my side work. I don't bother to go back to the table. I don't expect a tip and I don't want to engage in an argument. They leave me 2 cents in the pile of wing bones. I throw it all out. And GTFO. Well, when you're in the industry, you can get into bars despite being underage, and after that I needed a big fat margarita. So I head to one of the locals. We hooked up the staff there and vice versa, and relax with my drink and start telling the bartender the story of these assholes that kept me late. Literally a minute after that, of course Dumb and Dumber walk in. So I call the bartender over and point at them and ID them as my last hellish table. He asks me what I want them to do. Throw them out, etc. I ask them to let them stay but refuse them any drinks, and when they ask to point at me, it was a beautiful moment. The look of shock and FML on their faces put a big fat grin on mine. My friends had heard the story and now see them, so we are taking shots to the karma of it all. One guy just leaves, tail between his legs. The other, to his credit, came up to me and apologized. My response was, I already got your 2 cents. I don't need any more. He then proceeded to apologize, introduced himself and told the bartender my drinks and my friend's drinks were on him even if he could only get a soda. I respected that, so I told the bartender to serve him. For years I'd run into this guy at bars and every time he bought my drinks, It was great to benefit from karma. Edited to add. It was my 6th straight day of working doubles and I was just so done that when these guys tried to duck with me I went into the bow and cried. My coworkers who were still there were outraged and wanted to teabag their waters but I refused.